Welcome to Living in the Flow Radio on the Amazing Women of Power Network. I'm Dr. Ruth Cherry. My books are Living in the Flow, Practicing Vibrational Alignment, and Accepting Unconditional Love. They're both available from Amazon. Throughout our lives, we've learned a lot. We've learned how to manage our feelings, how to demand respect from other people, and to conduct ourselves in a respectable way. We may have learned to influence others, to speak convincingly, to carry ourselves with dignity, and we may have learned well how to hold our own boundaries. Maybe we can impress others. Some of us have learned to intimidate others, and once in a while we learn to challenge others. We know how to move through the outer world. We're taught that. We practice that. But when is it time to move into those soft spots inside ourselves, in our inner world, and say, I embrace you and I love you? Why do that? Isn't vulnerability what we want to erase? We're taught all our lives not to be vulnerable. We learn to hide our vulnerability from everyone else, and we hide it from ourselves as long as we can. But inevitably, there becomes a point where we can't ignore our sleeplessness, or our longing, or our restlessness, or the frustration that seems to chronically live inside us. We can't just keep pushing our way forward. And by our 40s and 50s and 60s, we don't want to. It's cost us too much. In our 40s and 50s and 60s, we don't even want to see our vulnerability as a problem. It's not a problem, it's our core. It's the most basic part of who we are. How could that be a problem? We want to say yes to every aspect of ourselves because this is who we are. And we want to shout our affirmation of ourselves. This is me. Yes, I may be hurting. Yes, I'm not perfect. Yes, sometimes I cry. But this is me. And we always say yes to ourselves. In our saying yes, we find a kind of peace. It's not our job to try, to effort, to wear ourselves out. It's not our job to fix the world. It's our job to be ourselves, whatever that means. We're not trying to be good enough or lovable. We don't need approval from anybody else. We need to be alive and feel ourselves, being ourselves. We need to just be. We've done enough. By embracing our vulnerability, we cooperate with life. We allow ourselves to be as we are, and we allow life to guide us. We don't need the controller, our mind, our intellect, to tell us what is appropriate. By owning the deepest parts of ourselves, we find freedom and passion and creativity. And in anchoring in that freedom and passion and creativity at our deepest center, we move into our own spirituality. We've known for a while that it's time for us to move beyond religion and rules and belief into honest spirituality, which is based on our own personal experience. Religion offers community, which may feel comforting, and religion offers guidelines for behavior, which build character. But true spirituality requires an adult's presence to her own experience. I'm going to say that again. True spirituality requires an adult's presence to her own experience. Thinking about what an authority tells us is at best a jumping off point for us to assume our own authority. Developing your personal spirituality means that you choose to participate with life as an adult. You own your responsibility not only for your behavior, but for your thoughts and for conflicts lying just below your awareness. You know that at your core, you are a spiritual being having a human experience. You accept that this lifetime is a gift for you to learn some truths, and wisely you surrender. Surrender is an important word. You know that change is constant, and you release your hold on everything, appreciating in this moment what you have been given, but not demanding or expecting that it continue. The emphasis is on paying attention. What am I supposed to learn from this frustration? What is my lesson in losing what I have loved? How am I gifted by the obstacles that block my hoped-for path? We pay attention to the details of our lives in a non-proprietary way. Through our surrender, we see patterns in our experience. We learn to listen to life and to trust its tugs. We notice that we are asked to submit and to receive. We practice presence. We experience everything inside us and outside us, and we release it. We experience it, we pay attention to it, and we release it. We practice gratitude, especially for what we do not like. Thank you for this opportunity to learn patience while I sit at this red light. Thank you for showing me the part of myself I hate when I look at another and I see it reflected to me. The importance of practicing gratitude for what you don't like is letting go of resistance. We notice the details of the day that lead us deeper within ourselves. When we pay attention to what happens to us, we are led to see what happens within us. We learn more by observing than by attempting to direct. This is a very humble attitude, isn't it? When we appreciate the unity of the outside world and the inside world, then we truly experience our own spirituality. Spirituality is oneness. It isn't light and joy and beauty and otherworldly music. It's the baby crying and the cat messing on the new carpet and the car that stops on the freeway and the job that doesn't materialize as we had hoped. And it's saying, yes, thank you. Now show me the next step. When we embrace our spirituality, we say yes to everything that happens, because we know we are one with everything. Our lifetime is not an opportunity to run our will. We are not on earth to see what we can make of ourselves. When we accept life as an adventure and know that we are the students, then we open to learn. Openness, attention, and surrender are hallmarks of a mature spirituality. Commitment is part of a mature spirituality. Throughout our lives, we've made commitments. A commitment to study while we were in school, to be faithful, loving, and supportive in a primary relationship. We've made a commitment to carry our load at work. Many of us have also made commitments in the interior personal realm to heal the parts of ourselves that have ached. The commitment that's asked of us now in our 40s and 50s and 60s surpasses all those commitments. Now we plunge into depths inside ourselves that we hadn't known existed. Certainly we've not felt this level of intensity or this compelling pull to get to the bottom of all the craziness we've tolerated and worked around and compromised with all these years. Now there are no more compromises and no more distractions. Our pain doesn't seem as frightening as the thought that we may die without having lived authentically and fully and passionately. What was acceptable before, a focus on surviving and prospering materially, is no longer enough. The power of our wish to have more and to be more emboldens us to venture into those scary places inside, because nothing is as scary as the thought of wasting our time on this earth. That becomes more and more precious with each sunset and each new stiffness and each loss of an acquaintance our age to a premature death. Our own death suddenly becomes imaginable in a way that never seemed so real before. The profoundness of this whole life experience is overwhelming some days. We can't believe the opportunity we've been given to be alive in this beautiful, or sometimes we think tragic, world, and we savor each fleeting second. The importance of loving, whether it's a friend or a pet or a farm or a project, convinces us that commitment from the depth of our being is required, always, and nothing short of that will suffice. When we finally commit to living the minutes and the hours of our lives with presence, we enter a realm from which we don't return. We move into a wonderland where we see the life spirit in ourselves, in others, and in the circumstances we encounter. The correlation between outside events and inner world conflicts becomes strikingly apparent, and we would not consider shrinking from the challenge to live our lives as heroes. A hero lives with integrity and with compassion and with a view of the world as her own family. A hero says, "How can I express the life spirit that flows through me today?" Each moment becomes an opportunity to experience that life spirit, as well as to offer it to the world. There is a transpersonal element to living as a hero. We are not only our little independent selves, we're larger than that. The concerns about, do I like what just happened? Am I getting mine? Will I profit from this interaction? These concerns fade. With an expanded worldview and an appreciation of the finiteness of any one particular life, the hero's concern is to contribute. The urgency of living large propels us past any fears that have inhibited us in the first part of our lives. The introvert's fear of being known in the world dims when she considers leaving this lifetime with no footprints to chronicle her time here. The extrovert's fear of her inner world pales when she considers the implications of living without the experience of profoundly and deeply committing to seeing a troublesome relationship all the way through, whether the relationship is between parts of herself inside herself or with another. No matter what the cost is to ourselves, we face our challenges. And whatever our challenge is, we need to commit to allowing our life spirit in us to heal our wounds and fears and hurts. This is strong, though not irresistible, in our 40s and 50s and 60s. Always we have a choice. Life is willing to take us where we are and to work with us, but we can refuse. If we decide unconsciously to curtail the life spirit in us by continuing to do what we have always done, if we increase our defenses against the inner tugs and rumblings, then life gently backs off. We are free to conduct our days as our minds choose, encountering the world as it comes to us and making decisions from our head's knowledge and good judgment. We can rely on past experience to live respectable lives and be law-abiding citizens and fit in. But we will be choosing to close off our hero. While not being derelict or offensive to anyone, we have not grabbed the ring. It is our choice. The thought of not living to the fullest of my ability and potential scares the bejeebers out of me. I don't want to have regrets after I die. I don't want to hang out with St. Peter and say, I wish I'd tried that, or I'm so sorry I didn't stand up for my convictions, or I could have taken more risks. Our 40s and our 50s and our 60s, those are the years to be the hero, to grab the hero part of us, to live from that perspective. Heroes are ordinary folks among us who choose to listen to the life spirit within them and follow it, even when they don't know where they're going or they don't understand their process. The hero doesn't concern herself with safety. She needs passion and depth and aliveness. And she realizes that this lifetime and today and this minute are her only opportunities to tell the truth, to be fully alive, and to love what is in front of her. Always you have a choice to move into your hero. In your hero, you think clearly. Your perceptions are not clouded by your needs or your prejudice or your old mistaken beliefs. You have done and you continue to do your inner work, so you are always practicing availability. Because nothing holds you back, you show up and you practice presence and you are ready to participate. And that's what living from your hero is about. I encourage you to experiment this week, to choose to live from your hero, to practice presence, to be available, to allow your life spirit to guide you. This is Dr. Ruth Cherry. My books are Living in the Flow, Practicing Vibrational Alignment, and Accepting Unconditional Love. Both are available from Amazon. Thank you.